Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Smart Investor Market Update. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to take a look at what's happening with the stock market. The futures markets are down some 15 points on S&P 500, 180 points in the Dow, and we're going to take a look at what is happening with those markets. We're also going to take a look at the stock of Apple and Nike. I got some questions about to look at what's happening with Apple and Nike. So we're going to take a look at those two stocks. We're also going to look at what's happening across the broader markets: the euro, gold, crude oil, commodities. So we're going to take a look at all of those markets. Now, looking at S&P 500, yesterday I spoke about the resistance point around this 2800 level, and what we did yesterday was that we traded up to the resistance area and we ended back down. And if we take a look at the 4-hour chart, we see where the market came up to the resistance point and traded down. Now, that 2800, as I explained yesterday, even before it happened, is that area is fairly significant resistance. If we can close above that area, there is still resistance up at the all-time high near the 2860 level. So we're seeing some fairly strong selling as we approach the medium-term resistance at 2800 and ultimately going up to the all-time high of 2850. Now, if you look at the S&P 500 chart, you see that the market really hasn't done much all year, and this can be fairly worrying for the markets. And normally, when we have topping out situations, the markets can enter these sideways channel type actions. The market can often hit a double top and then comes right back down. The key area, as I keep saying, is to look out at the 2550 level. We're still in an area of market is moving sideways. I know a lot of folks are complacent because the VIX, if you look at the VIX at this point in time, it is way down. And actually, let's just take a look at the VIX. And the VIX is the volatility index, and as you can see, volatility is still at fairly low levels, coming in at 13 on the volatility index. For some perspective, it went all the way up to 50 in January, February, when the markets had that strong decline, and it also in 2008 financial crisis it hit a high of 96.39. So that is the volatility index. We're currently at 13. So that means is that the fear in the market is fairly low at this point in time, and investors are getting a bit complacent. And it's at this point that you should be very wary of the markets, especially as we reach these highs, because we can get in a turnaround situation very soon. Taking a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is underperforming the S&P 500, we see that the futures are down 178 points as of this recording. And as I said yesterday, we have resistance up at 25,500 and also up to 26,000, and the ultimate high on this futures chart is 26,684. If I look on the cash market of the Dow, just take a look at the cash market. The all-time high on the cash market is still 26,616. So the futures and the cash market is off by a bit, 2616 and 26,684. So just a slight difference in terms of the all-time high. But this Dow Jones Industrial Average has strong support, 23,500, and resistance up at that 26,600. But intermediate resistance is at 25,500. Okay, so that's what's happening in the broader stock market. If we take a look at the US dollar index, is up slightly on the day. It's trying to break above resistance at 95.50, but it's just not getting the energy at this point in time. And this market is looking, markets in general, they're looking for some sort of catalyst, something to really drive these trends in the markets, because a lot of the markets right now are in a wait and see mode. If you look at the euro currency, is down slightly on the day, in keeping with the dollar. Support is just above 115, and resistance is at 118.58 is resistance in the euro. Looking at the Japanese yen is coming into support at a 90 level, and resistance is up at 92.61. So not much happening here in the Japanese yen. Also, this is a futures chart of the Japanese yen. Looking at the crude oil market this morning, we see that oil is down. Actually, most markets are down on the day. Oil is down at $73.28 after having a fairly strong rally up into the 73 level. So, but oil is still in a fairly strong uptrend, and we'll continue to buy this market as long as we see this series of higher highs and higher lows in the oil market. Taking a look at gold. Now, gold traded down to support recently, and is looking like it wants to test support again at this 1,240 level. Gold has various support points. We have trendline support coming in at 1,240. We also have horizontal all support coming in at this 1,240 region. So as you can see, we have two very strong support points here in gold. This was our previous low. The market came down to the low, bounced slightly, and we also have this trend line support coming up. So if gold does break down below these levels, that would mark a significant move down in gold, and then we could challenge the 1200 or even the 1140 region if we do break down below these levels in gold. Okay, so that's what's happening on the across the major markets. Now let's take a look at Apple. I did get a request to look at Apple and also Nike. Now, if you want to have your stock analyzed, what you can go is to info@smartinvestorcentral.com and send in your stock or stocks that you want to be analyzed. So looking at Apple, and folks always ask me what charts I use. These charts are e-signal charts. This is actually the classic version of e-signal. There is a newer looking chart interface, but I've been using this one so long that I'm just familiar with it, and I like this one. Okay, looking at the chart of Apple. Now, Apple is in a broad uptrend, and it's near all-time highs. This is a weekly chart of Apple. It pulled back slightly, or from $28 to $12, over half, in the 2008 financial crisis. The market has rebounded from $12 all the way up to $190, and that is taking into account some splits along the way. But the market is doing fairly well. We are in a strong uptrend with Apple. Resistance is currently at 194.20, and support is down at 180. If we start to close below 180, 170, and 160, then what that would show to me is that the market is probably topping out temporarily. Who knows if it's a long-term top, but at least temporarily. And anything below 160 or 150, I'll be looking to exit this market and book some long-term profits. If you are a trader that holds these positions for a couple of months, we'll be looking for to take some profits on that. Now the reader who asked the question say they have been in Apple since the $100 region. They bought it somewhere in 2015 at $100. It has almost doubled, and you have done fairly well. But as I said, if we start to close below 160 or so, I'll be looking to exit that market and take some profits off the table. Nike. And Nike has been doing fairly well over the last couple of months. The stock is currently at $77.57, and let's just take a look. In 2009, this market was at $10. The market is currently at $77.57. We had some splits along the way in Nike also. So the market has done fairly well. I know a number of people who have been in this stock for a number of years, and it has done well. Now, if the market starts to get below 65 or so, I'll be looking to exit this market also, and book some longer term profits in Nike. Remember that most people, or a lot of people can, or anybody really can select a winning stock. The key to making money in stock is knowing when to get out. When to getting in is fairly easy. Knowing when to get in is important, but knowing when to get out is even more important. And we, as I discussed previously, we see that folks would buy a stock like 90 at $10. It goes up for 9 years, up to roughly $80, and then they would ride the market all the way back down to $10 if the market collapses back down. And that is not the way to make money. You have to know when to exit and book your profit while maximizing your trends. And if you do that on a consistent basis, you will make money in this market always. Okay, thank you very much for listening. If you want a free class, we're still offering the free classes. We're getting a lot of requests, so put in your request for the free class. It's a one-on-one class on investing and trading and looking at your particular situation. We take a look at the stock market, the futures market, and the forex market. If you are just a stock trader, we'll look at stock trading. If you trade forex, we'll look at the forex markets also for you, and develop a plan or a strategy for you to become successful in the markets. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to sign up for that class, click on the link below this video and sign up. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.